Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here, back to make your typical monthly guesstimate update video. So in today's video, we'll go through all the YieldMax covered call ETFs and we'll take a guess and see what they're going to pay next week. Because if you look at the calendar here, this is directly from their website, declaration date falls on Tuesday, August 6th. Ex-dividend date falls on Wednesday, August 7th. Ex-dividend date means, obviously, if you own it prior to that date, you will qualify for the distribution. And then, of course, payment date, which is the best date of all. That's Thursday, August 8th. So, again, a very exciting week next week. So, since they're going to declare their distributions on the Tuesday, why not make a video guessing what they're going to pay in advance, right? Why the hell not? As you know, I track 4 of them, so some of them, I'd like to think my guesses on those are a little closer based on actual data, but sometimes they're way off too. But I'll do my best based on what I can track for the month and see how it went. But yeah, FYI, they do declare it early in the morning on the Tuesday, so you do still have that full day to make a decision to buy if you do buy based on what they're declaring. So take my estimates with a grain of salt. They could be right, they could be wrong, but in the end, it doesn't matter. We're just doing this for fun. All right, so let's get to the spreadsheet. So here it is. I'll zoom in so we can see maybe a little less at a time. We'll keep 4 on the sheet. Here, we'll do that. So maybe I'll make it even bigger. Okay, so let's go over Tesla. So Tesla, they paid $1 last month. Coming from 64 cents, $1 was huge. My estimate for this month is $1.05. Now, if I go here, again, I have 4 funds that I cover. You guys know that. But I'll show you on the spreadsheet my payment tab data. Basically, I'm showing they had a total income per share of $2.24, okay? So, why not pay $2.24? Well, number one, because they don't always pay every dime of, because all this, look where it came from. It all came from synthetic income, right? So they're not going to pay every dime they made from synthetic income, right? They have to keep some of that as part of the recovery into the price, into the NAV of the fund. Last month they paid $1 and they made $1.82. Okay, so they paid $1. This month they made $2.24. So realistically, yeah, should they pay $1.20? Probably. But again, I'm looking at. Let me go back to the sheet. I'm looking at the price, right? If you look at the latest price, $14.37. So if they pay, the higher the payment, obviously the more it drops on ex-dividend date. And yeah, they went down from the prior X date to current date. It went down in price by 257. So their recovery rate, by the way, was in the negative. So they never recovered. So that's kind of what I'm going by on that aspect. They could pay $2. Yeah, they could pay $1.50. I just don't see it. So am I lowballing? I'm probably lowballing. They may just go crazy and give them, a nice distribution. But I really think the reasonable amount to do is $1.05. What does that yield? Well, that yields 87%. So you should be pretty damn happy as a Tesla shareholder if you're getting $1.05. I know you want 100% yield, based on this month, which you could get. But again, that's just my prediction based on what I'm seeing. All right, so now I'm going to go through some of the others that I don't track, like OARC. So OARC, they paid 24 cents last month, and I'm going to guesstimate. How do I get the yield in the picture? Let me zoom out a little. There we go. That's good. Yeah, so I'm going to guess 28 cents, which is a 33% yield. Their implied volatility is 40%. Because again, they strive to yield what their implied volatility is. However, 28 cents is still an increase from last month. That's a 14% increase from last month. So I'm going to give them a yield of 33%. Aptly, I'm going to give them a yield of 23%, which is 35-cent payment. Their implied volatility is 28%. And again, if I scroll to the right, by the way, if you see the gains per share, if you look at all these funds, like how have they done? None of them really did well except Zomo, PP, Misty did well, Crash did well. So you got to keep that in mind. When the funds don't really have an overall gain, and again, I don't cover them, then I'm going to guess that they're typically going to pay what their implied volatility is. Because I'm assuming since they went down all month, more than likely they won their weekly calls. So then if they won their weekly calls are going to typically yield what their implied volatility is. All right. So again, aptly 35 cents. So let's move on. NVIDIA 140. They paid 247 last month, and I'm going to guess 140. But again, I have a spreadsheet for it. Actual data for NVIDIA. So if we go to the payment tab here, did they make money? Not on the synthetic, but they did make money on the short call income. They made about $51 million, which comes to about $1.38 per share. So last month's distribution was 247. So of course this, sort of a letdown, I guess you could say. But if we see what this yields, right? I guess I rounded up $1.40 because they could have some trades on Monday which could put them up. But I think if the synthetic's not making money, could they pay all of the weekly income? Yeah, they probably should. So I'm gonna guess $1.40. By the way, that yields 68%. Is that enough for you as an NVIDIA holder? Maybe. Their implied volatility though is 82%. So you could say I'm lowballing NVIDIA, but again, this is what they made. So I'm not going to guess a higher amount just because, of that, because I have the actual data. I might as well use it. But again, yeah, I'm going to say $1.40 for NVIDIA. AMZY, 65 cents, I'm going to guess. That's a decrease from last month. But it's a 40% yield, which is above their implied volatility of 36%. So I think this is still reasonable. Obviously, it's kind of a letdown from the prior payments. So I do hope I'm wrong as an AMZ shareholder, but I just can't justify giving it any more than that. Phoebe, I also own Phoebe, but to be honest, I don't know. I should have never bought them, in my opinion. Either way, let's move on. I think they're going to pay 70 cents, which is equivalent to what they paid last month. That puts them at a 45% yield, which is actually above, similar to AMZ. I put it above their implied volatility. So we'll see. GUI, again, who likes GUI? Not many people. But last month they paid 46 cents. I'm going to give them an increase up to 50 cents. This will put them at a yield of 36%, which is above their implied volatility of 30%. Nefli, 42 cents. Yuck. It is an increase from last month, an 11% increase from last month, and that puts them, oh my God, it's terrible, 31% yield, because their implied volatility is 30%. It's kind of a letdown, to be honest. I hope it's more. Some of these, again, the ones that I own, I hope I'm wrong half the time. But yeah, look, they had a 96-cent month. I wish we can go back to that, but unfortunately, I have to guess 42 cents, and no, I will not be happy with that payment. Because let's look at Nefli. What is their, and we'll go through the gains per share on each one after, but Nefli's at $16. But they've been there before and they recovered, so. Coney, okay, Coney. Another one I cover, obviously. They paid $1.57 last month, so I'm guessing $1.10, right? So the problem is, if I go to my Coney spreadsheet, most of you know this already, they didn't make money. There's no synthetic income and there's no short call income. It's all losses. So I can't use my data, right? I have to look at their implied volatility rate. So they paid $1.57 last month. So if we take that, we consider that, okay, but what's their implied volatility? 76%. So I just said, okay, they're going to yield that. And I kept it honestly as simple as that. So I gave them a 77% yield, which turns into a $1.10 payment. Is this a letdown? Is this their lowest payment of all time? Actually, no. In February, they paid $1.07. In November, they paid $1.07. So it's not the lowest of all time. So I wouldn't, people may cry about it, but keep in mind, look at the price of Coney right now. It's at $17, right? Do you really want them to pay $2? No. So yeah, I'm going to guess $1.10 on Coney. All right, how about DSO? Another one no one gives a damn about, but they paid 36 cents last month. So I'm going to give them a little raise, 23% raise, a little generous there. So I'm going to say they're going to pay 45 cents. Were they one of the ones that made money? No, of course not. But this is going to yield them 33%, which is below their 41% IV, but still an increase from the prior month. So MSFO, again, steady Eddie, but same, kind of boring. They did pay 38 cents last month, which sucked, but I'm going to give them a raise as well, up to 47 cents, which is a 28% yield, which is kind of in line with their implied volatility. All right, next, Zomo, if you look, yeah, man, they made 51 cents this month. Look at that recovery rate. They recovered more than double of the last month's distribution. Last month's distribution was 18 cents. What a joke. So I'm going to say they're almost double their last month's distribution. I'm going to give them 32 cents. That's a 22% yield, which is still below their implied volatility. So they may even pay more than that. So I could be lowballing Zomo. I feel like Zomo might be, impressing people. JPMO paid 22 cents last month. I'm going to give them 28 cents. That's an increase, obviously, but it's an 18% yield. Again, I'm probably lowballing them. AMDY paid 73 cents last month. I'm going to give them a decrease to up to 65 cents. But again, I'm going to say their implied volatility, since it's 56%, they're going to yield 57%. All right. What did they make for the month? Essentially nothing. But PP made money. So if you look at PP, they paid 43 cents last month, right? So, but if I go over here, they gained $1.17. So that tells me they possibly made money on their synthetic. So if they made money on their synthetic and possibly weekly income, I'm going to give them a little higher yield than what their implied volatility reflects. Their implied volatility is 36%, so I'm going to say they're going to yield 49%, which comes out to be a 71 cent payment, which is pretty damn good. So if you own PP, I hope I'm right for your sake. If not, sorry. SQY, they paid 69 cents last month. I'm going to give them a little raise, 72 cents. That's a 48% yield, just below their implied volatility of 53%, but yeah, no gain per share for them. So if we go to Murni, again, I never get Murni right, so I'm not even going to pretend that I'm going to get this right. But they paid 48 cents last month. I'm going to say, yeah, they get a raise, 58 cents. That's a yield of 60% in line with their implied volatility. AIYY, another one I struggle with. They paid 39 cents last month, which is god-awful. But I'll give them a raise. Let's just say they're going to pay 49 cents, which is, again, puts them at a yield at 57%. Look at their implied volatility, man. 64%. You got to make money on that. Got to make money. All right. MSTY. All right. July, they paid $2.33. I'm going to give them $2.01. I'm going to do it. And the reason is partially, obviously, look at the gains per share, $2.22. The problem is here, I go to here, right? I go to my payment tab. Did they make money? Right? Did Misty make money? They actually did. Total income per share, 10 cents. So they did make 10 cents. For the longest time throughout the month, they weren't making shit. But apologize for the language, by the way. But again, they came back and they made 10 cents. So overall, though, the price did go up by $2.22. Okay? So, and based on where their price is at, it's at $26.81. So they can afford a $2 payment. So since they can afford a $2 payment, I'm going to give them a $2 payment. Although it's a decrease from the prior month, I'm going to give them $2.01. This will put them at a yield of 89%. Of course, I have a feeling it's just going to show up as 100% yield. They always have one of those. And, this month, who's it going to be? It could be Crash, by the way. We'll get to Crash in a second. But, I'm going to give them 201. I think that's more than generous. Puts them at an 89% yield, 2% below their implied volatility. Okay? Because in reality, taxable income-wise, they made 10 cents. All right? So let's think about that. All right, Ybit. I have no freaking idea about Ybit. But what did they pay? They paid $1.37 and then $1.21. Am I lowballing? Who the hell knows? 85 cents I'm giving them. That's a 66% yield. That's above their implied volatility. Believe me, I did not want to give them that. But based on their prior payments, I had to give them a higher payment. They did actually make 7 cents for the month. Now, Crash, I don't know if you just saw this. Look at Crash. Tesla, obviously struggling. That typically means Crash will do well. Crash, 303. Are you freaking kidding me? 303. So they paid 95 cents the first month, 81 cents the following month. I'm going to give them over $1. All right, I'm going to give them $1.10. That'll put them in yield of 81%. Their implied volatility, again, this is of Tesla, 57%. So could they yield over 100%? Abso-freaking-lutely, man. They made over $3. However, look at the price, $16.23. They know as fast as they came up, they can go right back down. So if they pay anything more than that, is it damaging for the long term? Maybe. Do they care? Maybe not. I don't know. And look at the recovery rate, by the way, from prior month. They made more than 3 times, almost 4 times the amount that they paid in the previous month. So good month for Crash. GDXY, I believe this is the gold one. So their first distribution was last month. They paid 79 cents. I'm going to give them 61 cents. Puts them at a yield at 39%, which is above their implied volatility. So I'm kind of being generous, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to pay. Some of these I just don't even have any idea. Snoy, because they could just come out. Like Snoy, how the hell did Snoy pay 93 cents last month? But I'm going to say 89 cents this month, 59% yield. Again, their implied volatility is 71%. I'm probably lowballing them, but I'm not a fan of Snoy, so maybe it's not fair to them. But again, I'll give them 89 cents. ABNY, Airbnb one, another one I hate. First month of a distribution. I'll give them 71 cents. Actually, I didn't even look when they launched. When did they launch? 6/25. So that kind of gave them maybe an extra week. So I have to consider that. I did not even consider that on my estimate. I yielded them 47%. Their implied volatility is 54. For the month they did shitty. They're down to 18. Since it started July 5th. What did I say? The 25th. It's 10 days? 10 more days. All right, I'm going to give them a little higher, unfortunately. I don't want to. I'll just put them up to 79 cents. This will yield them, 52%. All right, so it's a little more in line with their implied volatility. But they did launch early, so they did have a few extra days than the others, so have to consider that as well. 79 cents for ABNY. Now, last but not least, Fiat. Now, Fiat launched on, if I scroll here, they launched on July 9th, okay? So are they going to have a distribution? Well, why the hell not, right? Ex-dividend date last month was 7/5, I believe. If you go to the chart here, 7/5, yeah, right here. 7/5 was last month's ex-dividend date. So, yeah, why the hell not wouldn't they make a payment? It's a few days after. So, I'm going to give them an estimate of $1.10, right? Now, if you look, they did make 90 cents. $1.10 puts them at a 62% yield, which is below their implied volatility, although they're a few days short of the full month. So, I'm keeping that into consideration. So, again, if we look at the recap, no one's over 100%. This tells me I'm probably wrong because I feel like they're always going to push someone above 100% just for the headline. Tesla's close. Tesla's at 87%. Will they give Tesla the 100% headline? They damn sure might. Next one, NVIDIA is 68%. Again, that's still pretty damn good numbers. Coney, 77%. Who else is pretty high? Misty, 89%. They could give Misty the 100 as well. Crash, 81%. Yeah, I think it's between Crash, Misty, and Tesla. One of those three, I have a feeling, are going to get the 100% yield, and they're going to be the highlight on the email. Because I'll be surprised if they do decide not to do one at 100%. Which, again, obviously, based on my estimates, I don't think they should. But maybe I'm just, I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see. But these are my estimates. I'm not going to go through them again. You saw them. We'll see how it goes. And then I added guesstimate accuracy. We'll see how close I become. Obviously, I'll plug in what they announce on the Tuesday morning. Unfortunately, that's an office day, so I don't know when I'll get to that video, but I will get to it. And then we'll we'll go from there. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so those are the numbers. Again, gains per share for the month and recovery rate. You could see, like, overall, no one really had a great month. Zomo had an okay month. PP had a good month. Misty had a pretty good month. Ybit, yeah, kind of flat, which is good. Crash had a great month. And then Fiat had an okay month. Ulti, YMAX, and YMAG, they declare, if we go to their distribution schedule, they're down here. Their declaration date will be August 14th. So obviously that'll be the following week. So I'll go over their estimate the next weekend. We'll see what happens from there. So yeah, so that's it. That's the estimate. And that's where we stand. Obviously these, if I look at the house money, Coney and Nvidia, they're going to hit 100% house money on this payment. Actually, I forgot about that whole thing. How much do they need for the house payment? I have to consider that. I completely forgot. Holy crap. I think they need $1.25. So if I go to Nvidia on the bottom, if I go to house money, they need $1.25. Oh shit. Yeah. I think Coney needs the same. Let me go to Coney. Yep. Okay. Sorry, got to update those numbers. All right, let me go to Nvidia first. Nvidia, what I give them? $1.40. Okay, they're more than covered. So they're gonna hit 100% house money, and then Coney is gonna hit it as well. Where's Coney? 110. Okay, I gotta raise this sucker. Oof, it's hard, man. It's hard. They're at $17. Damn it. I'm gonna give it to them though. $1.25. What's that gonna put them? 88% yield. Eek. Wow. Yeah. Well, let's just make it $1.30. Yeah, make it $1.30. I don't want to make it exact because, again, what was their launch price exactly? Who the hell knows? But either way, yeah, sorry I had to change Coney because I forgot about 100% house money. Because Coney and Nvidia, they're going to hit it. They're going to hit it this month. It's a guarantee. So Coney's at 94%. I believe Nvidia's also at 94%. So they're going to hit 100% house money. What does that mean? It means if you invested in those funds on day one when they launched, on this next payment, you will get back 100% of your original investment back in distributions. So you're essentially playing with house money because they paid you back your original investment. Everything from here on out is house money. So that's why I have the house money column. Obviously, others will join along, but Nvidia and Coney will be the first ones. And I have no doubt about it. So that's why I have to give them, above the 125 distribution. So again, I completely forgot about that because I'm rushing around this morning trying to, make these estimates with crazy children screaming in my face. All right, so that's it, guys. That's the update. Nothing else to say. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm pretty close? Do you think I'm going to be way off? If I'm going to be way off, let me know which one. If you're kind of let down on any of these, also let me know which one. But again, I only cover the 4. So the 4, I have an idea. But sometimes, even then, I'm way off. It just... YieldMax is going to pay what they want to pay. No one knows but them. But again, doesn't mean we can't have fun. And that's what we're doing. We're having fun, making guesses, looking at what they're going to yield and go from there. So as always, guys, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, we will try again next time, right? Next month. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you enjoy this, hit the like button if you could. Thumbs up, whatever you want to call it. Just smack it around, hit it in the face. Make sure it went through. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, leave them down below. And if you want to help the channel further, share this video with the world, right? Anyway, guys, I appreciate you making it this far into the video. And by the way, I'll do a keyword. Why the hell not? Keyword. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. You got to comment the keyword. And then you can comment whatever question you have too. But today's keyword is house money, baby. 100% house money. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you can either just write house money or 100% house money, baby. Because you know Coney and Nvidia, they're playing with house money now, all right? Which is awesome. So, but yeah, that's all I got for today. I'm in the garage. It's hot as hell. Yeah, and yes, I'm sweating. But, you know, have a good one, everyone. Take care. Later.